So this is Steve Bannon's border wall. It is citizen funded through We Build the Wall. It is half a mile long. It has stopped 17 drug cartels. That is an impressive number, but it goes to show that the citizens want a wall. They say that walls work. We got a firsthand experience right now. We are going through a tunnel. Do they hide out here?
Yeah, it's clear. But this is one of the tunnels that they use to scout from Border Patrol. They come in here and they raid. This is an everyday thing right here.
Yeah.
So,
Wild.
yeah, it is.
We're getting a huge inside look at what it's like to be an illegal immigrant trying to get their way into the United States. These are the ladders that they put over the fence, and if you look right here, there are hooks that drape over the border wall. So this is their makeshift ladders that they make to get into the United States. Katie for Rebel News. I'm on the El Paso Highway, and below me is the Ciudad Juarez, Mexico border, where dozens of National Guard are lined up, manning the border ahead of Title 42. And as you can see, it does not matter that Title 42 is being halted. The illegal immigrants feel emboldened and are gathering in massive amounts of numbers to try to enter into the United States illegally. They come through to this part of the fence because the border wall stops with the barbed wire, and so they try to hop the fence, which is why all the National Guard is specifically lined up along here to prevent that from happening. But as you can see, this is the crisis at the border. We are going on a border run with border expert Anthony Aguero of Real America's Voice. So come along with us and see what we find. But before I get started, head on over to rebelborderreports.com and consider making a donation so we can continue covering what mainstream media refuses to show. So what are we doing now?
So this is one of the one of the other hotspots in this area. This is so that they can evade being detected on camera up there, and the sensors, they come right through this particular tunnel.
Wow.
Which is not a cartel tunnel, it's just a water drainage tunnel that is out here, but they take advantage and they use them to their advantage.
And how much water is in it?
Currently right now it's probably less than a foot. For the most part it's usually dry. Right now there's about a foot of water, but still they can walk right through there if they were really trying to get away from Border Patrol.
So what are we looking at now?
So what we have in the backdrop right now behind us is these lookout points, these lookout towers that the individuals who are involved in everything that is transpiring out here, they build these lookout towers to be able to locate easily any kind of law enforcement agents or Border Patrol agents that might be working along the southern border. Those lookout points are for that reason, so that they can be up to date where these agents are, and in case they have to send somebody over, they know exactly where the Border Patrol agents or law enforcement officers are in this area.
So the cartels pretty much have full control of the border?
It's the organized crime that has full control of the border, and it's not just the cartel, it's also the corruption within the government of Mexico. Yeah, so this is one of their corridors. When they come down from the Sunland Park area that we were just at, they'll walk right through here trying to keep themselves off the camera and hitting the sensors. And then in which case they'll continue to walk further down and get picked up. But this is one of the more busy areas where people are constantly coming right through here. Further up here, it's called Mount Cristo Rey. It's a religious deal where Catholics and Christians come every Easter, and they convive with each other, but it's been shut down for the last 2 years because of all the illegal immigration. This is one of the really busy spots because there is no barrier or really any kind of security between Monument 1 and I believe Monument 2 or 3. There's no Border Patrol, there is no fence. All this is wide open. If you continue, you can literally just go up and over and you'll be into Mexico right here.
And just to reiterate, we are in a wide open area. There's no border wall, so they just come across from Mexico into the United States right here. Would you say that they normally will come through at night?
In this area, as of recently, it's just 24/7.
Yeah.
In the nighttime, it does pick up by a lot more, but it's just an ongoing situation 24/7. When Mike told me he was coming down here, I said, hey, watch out there even during the day because it's occurring 24/7 out here. Absolutely.
So it doesn't even really matter if Title 42 is halted because they're already invading, even with it in place, would you say?
It's not going to stop anything. These people are not going to get the memo. They're not, oh, Title 42 has been removed, or it's still in place. They're not going to remove it. Let's go back. No, absolutely not. Uh, Once it continues to be enforced, they're going to force their way in here. They're not going to stop. They already have a mentality that we owe them. They have a self-entitlement that's been put into them by these leftist NGOs, and they've been coached very well. That's the reality of it. They've been coached very well on how to game the system, and they're going to come with the mentality of gaming the system and getting into the country.
We're also here with my good friend and amazing war reporter, Michael Yon, who invited us on this border run. What are you seeing?
Well, it's been overrun. I mean, it's an invasion, as you know. We first met where in Netherlands, where another part of this war is unfolding against the farmers,
Yep.
right? And that part continues ongoing, and this one here is just increasing, thousands per day. How many have come across since Biden was in office? I don't know. Nobody knows.
Can't keep track.
No, and clearly it's being weaponized. Clearly we're going into global famines. This is a very serious issue.
All right, so we are going through a tunnel. Do they hide out here?
Yeah, it's clear. But
Are-
this is one of the tunnels that they use to abscond from Border Patrol. They come in here and they wait for the right to give them the green light to go up.
Wow. Okay, we're gonna go through.
This is where they come, and right before they actually get out on the main road, they'll come, they'll hide out. If it's raining, if it's snowing, if it's really sunny and hot, this gives them shelter. Right now it feels warm, outside it's cold. When it's hot outside, it's cool in here, so it works both ways for them. This is as we go further in, you'll see more signs of them staying in here.
We're up for the adventure. This is intense. So just so you guys, obviously you can see, but there's rocks everywhere. It's definitely a cave. I feel like I'm gonna hit my head on. Man, we gotta crawl. This is wild, guys. So my cameraman Josh is not gonna be coming through the rest of the tunnel, but I'm gonna go. So here we go.
Go on through. Oh man, it keeps going.
Oh, how long is it? Do you know? Are we going the whole way, dude? And I will say it gets really hot.
Yeah, so it's like I'm saying, they use this in the wintertime to keep themselves warm.
Uh-huh.
You obviously feel the heat in here. In the summertime, it stays very, very cool in here. So
Interesting.
it continues to go down deeper, but I think for now,
Do we keep going or
it's
just?
gonna get really, really stuffy in there.
Yeah.
Really hot. But
Do you think they'll be out here tonight?
yeah, they'll be out here tonight. Yeah, no doubt. This is an everyday thing right here.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So
Wild.
yeah, it is.
We're getting a huge inside look at what it's like to be an illegal immigrant trying to get their way into the United States. All right, so we just went through a cave and we went pretty deep and it goes even farther and we decided not to go the whole way. But this is where they will be tonight, hanging out, waiting to enter in the United States illegally, trying to escape Border Patrol, National Guard, whoever.
How warm is it in there?
It's hot. I mean, you're sweating, dude.
I mean, I got my jacket on, but it's like it goes to show it keeps them warm right now in the winter.
Yeah.
And in the summer, it stays super, super fresh in here. It's really inviting in the summer in here.
Now, this is the biggest story in America right now, but also the most unreported story. So if you appreciate what we are doing here, please go to rebelborderreports.com and consider making a donation. We are crowdfunded by you, and you can help us offset our travel costs to bring you the important story from here in El Paso on the border crisis. Again, rebelborderreports.com. All right, so where are we standing right now?
So currently, we're out here in Sunland Park, New Mexico. We are at the top, at the bottom, at the foot of Mount Cristo Rey. Mount Cristo Rey is a monument to Jesus Christ out here, and unfortunately people for the most part are discouraged by local law enforcement agencies and Border Patrol agents from coming up here because of the massive surge of people coming over. When the sun drops and this is nighttime out here, Border Patrol and National Guard will not be caught out here because at that point they become sitting ducks for the cartel. And I quote, they say, and I quote, the cartel owns this at night. So you can kind of see why they would say that. So
Wow, so the car or the border patrol won't even show face here.
No, they won't be out here patrolling the area. If they're trying to make apprehensions, they'll be further down towards the street, trying to apprehend the individuals before their pickup or as they're crossing into the country.
Wow. And you would say that this is one of the big hotspots?
This is one of the hotspots, correct, because there is no wall in between Monument 1 and Monument 2 out here in Sunland Park, New Mexico.
Wow. Insane. Anything else that people need to know?
I mean, this is you're in the ground zero of it here. This
Yeah.
is where it's at, and I'll show you guys some of the neighborhoods in the area, and you can kind of see why.
Right. And so we've been seeing a lot of children cross in by themselves. Do they also go through the cartels too? What happens to the kids?
Absolutely. As you guys will see on later on the tour, you're gonna see that by the riverbank, off the border highway, you're gonna start seeing women's panties and little girls' panties all lined up all along the border, very much well so like you see in places like Eagle Pass, Del Rio, and Yuma, in which we know the instances that women get raped right before they are allowed to cross over into the United States.
These are the ladders that they put over the fence. And if you look right here, there are hooks that drape over the border wall. So this is their makeshift ladders that they make to get into the United States. Wow. Wild. So if you didn't hear that, he said that Border Patrol removes them on the Mexico side and throws them back onto the U.S. so they can't reuse them. All right, so we are driving in a caravan and we're communicating with these walkie-talkies, but we are headed to Steve Bannon's border wall now. And what did you think about what we just saw?
It was shocking to see. I mean, look, at the end of the day, you hear about people crossing the border, right? You don't expect to see so many personal items and belongings dropped along the way, littering the trail. You don't expect to see where there's caves dug out, not like natural caves, but man-made caves that people are utilizing to try and hide from Border Patrol. And I mean, the report that we heard about not only women, but little girls getting raped along the way. I mean, you hear these things at times, but it doesn't hit like it does on the ground here. Like,
So this is Steve Bannon's border wall. It is citizen funded through We Build the Wall. It is half a mile long. It has stopped 17 drug cartels. That is an impressive number, but it goes to show that the citizens want a wall. They say that walls work. We got a firsthand experience right now, and it goes all the way up here. Imagine if there was an entire wall all along the southern border. I don't think we'd be having the invasion that we're seeing right now. All right, so this is a pretty cool thing to point out. If you look on the ground, there are bricks of the names of people that actually funded the border wall. A lot of names, so it just goes to show that citizens support having secure borders here in the United States of America.
This is Monument 1. This is known as Monument 1. Monument 1 stands right behind the citizen-funded wall that we're seeing right here. However, you can see that this gate is wide open. That's because the International Boundary and Water Commission of the United States has chained open the gate. The International Boundary and Water Commission acts as a activist group, for the most part, from what I've witnessed working the border extensively these last couple of years, is at not just here in El Paso, but in places like Eagle Pass, Del Rio, and Roma. This International Boundary and Water Commission drops the water level excessively at night. And I don't know if it's done purposely or with the intention of helping people cross over, but it certainly it draws attention to it and makes you raise your eyebrow as to why in the middle of the night they bring the water level so extremely low to just inches. So that is East Texas. Here, however, they decided to chain the gate wide open, and during the day we might more than likely see a car pull up right on the other side. That's the only thing that's between the United States and Mexico, is that green sign that you see right now. And so people pull up in trucks, SUVs, or Jeeps, and people jump off with their luggage, and they walk right across, and Border Patrol gets called out here. They pick them up, and it's just a cycle all day long.
You said that this is the reservoir that lowers the water?
Yes.
That is so interesting. Right, so here we are in El Paso, Texas. Right there is Mexico. If they come here into the United States,
They get freebies. They get a free ride. They get housing. They get lodging. They get free meals. They get a safe place to stay. If you were to cross over there, sadly, you'd go to jail. You'd be arrested and you'd be in prison for being in Mexico illegally. That is the oxymoron here, huh? Yes.
right. So what would happen if we were here at night?
Well, first it wouldn't be safe for us, but you'd be able to see a lot of the activity that goes on throughout the night. It's unfortunate, but it's every single night, and it's time after time after time. We're completely unmanned. If Border Patrol comes here and picks somebody up, the minute that they're gone, there's more people coming in, twice as much people coming in. So it's just it's a cat and mouse game out here,
Right.
pretty much.
Who owns the property that the border wall is on?
American Eagle Brick Company owns that property, and if I'm not mistaken, they were under negotiations of potentially selling the property because so much backlash that they received from the media and the government for allowing this to go on, that they were just they even stopped building, they stopped working, they shut it down, they were just over it. So last I heard, they were on their talks of potential selling of the property, but I've not heard anything for some time. But it is owned by American Eagle Brick Company.
Gotcha. So it's privately owned.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Yeah. And so when Trump was president, he wanted a wall. The Democrats attacked him for being racist. The wall was racist. Biden, one of the first things he did when he took office was get rid of the wall. But now he wants a wall again. Why?
Well, again, he's completely let this get out of control. It's out of his hands now. Before he took office, there's multiple videos of instances of him saying that he would allow everybody that wanted to come over and help them out, and that's just, he's reaping his everything that he put out there, unfortunately. When they were building the wall, the organized crime from Mexico would throw rocks and projectiles at the members that were out here, putting up the barrier. Obviously, they were pissed off that their smuggling routes were going to be distracted, so they had to have security for the guys out here because so much stuff was being thrown at them at some point.
So we spotted these people from up top of the border wall, and so we came back down. Who are them?
So that is a lawyer activist, and you can see before she got off her vehicle, she made sure she covered up her face. She's wearing a face mask now, and we're about to get the license plates to her vehicle right now. They're American plates. Those are Texas plates. So.
Gotcha. So what's their predominant job?
So earlier, like I was telling you, you have activists or attorneys that go out there and act as activists. They don't exactly claim to be practicing law because they're in a foreign country, and that would be them breaking the law. But they are out there as activists giving instructions to these people as to how to game and how to try to get away to coming in here.
Gotcha. So it's like the leftist prosecutors where I'm from in Seattle. They commit crimes and then let them back out on the streets.
That's right.
All right. Well, funny enough, we are back to where we started here at the border where they can easily illegally enter. And then across the street is Joaquin's house. And what did you see?
Now they're pulling people out of the houses and they're putting them in the back of the paddy wagon, but only to be released probably in the next couple hours.
Right, so he saw illegal immigrants hiding in Joaquin's house just now. And if you look across the street, Border Patrol is there right now and just pulled some people out of the home. This is what life is like in El Paso, Texas. Yeah, here they go leaving. Well, if you enjoyed our coverage, please go to rebelborderreports.com where you can consider making a donation. We are 100% crowdfunded. It's the only way to stay uncorrupted. So rebelborderreports.com. Kata Davis-Gart for Rebel News. Thank you, guys.